everyone, and welcome to the Evolve with Emily show YouTube channel. The best way to support the show on this YouTube channel is to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, and or share it with a friend. I hope that you guys enjoy this episode, and whichever way you choose to support the show, I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. I hope that today's message and episode brings some bit of positive change to your life. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Evolve with Emily show. I'm your host, Emily Hayden. How are you guys doing today? What's up? What's going on with your life? Welcome to the show. We have a really good show planned for today. Now, before we dive into today's topic, which is going to be very informational based, very informative, very educational, and very helping you to be very proactive in your life about your health. Before we get into that, we do have 4 announcements, so let's go ahead and hop right in. The first announcement, the Evolve Retreat is going to be happening on May 12th through 15th here in Houston, Texas. So I just wanted to mention that any remaining tickets are going to be linked below. If this is the first time that you're hearing about it, I will go ahead and link the Evolve Retreat podcast in the show notes and also in the description box below. I'm going to link the YouTube video version of it because after the very quick explanation, I actually link a video from 2019, which was the last retreat that I did. So you guys can have a little inside look into what a retreat with me would look like. So definitely check out that link below. Again, it will be live as long as we have tickets remaining. So grab your ticket and get excited. It's going to be an amazing event. And I cannot wait to get all of my Evolve with Emily podcast listeners, my clients, my followers, everyone together in one area, because it's going to be just such a transformative weekend of personal growth, connection with others, and just elevating your life in so many ways that you probably don't even expect. So definitely try to make it out if you can make it out for that. The second announcement, Vidcon Utah. I am coming. I'm so excited to be there April 22nd through the 23rd. It's that weekend. I'm actually going with my Transcend family. So it's going to be myself, Jason Poston, Steve Weatherford, Whitney Jones, Max West, Dan Hallgren. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. That's my best shot. Hallgren, Alex Michael Turner, Joe Andrews. What's up, Joe? I can't wait to see you. It's been a minute. Dusty Henshaw, Jesse Kessler, and the rest of the Transcend team. So if you guys are going to go to Vidcon Utah, please make sure to stop by the Transcend booth because we're going to have just such incredible athletes there, and we can't wait to meet you guys, talk with you, and just, have a great time. It's been a while since I've been to a fitness expo, so I'm really excited to get to meet all of you guys. And then I'm like doubly excited because Transcend, the people that are within the brand and business, are just some of my favorite people, and I've never actually met them in person. So this is going to be the first time that we get to come together in person and kick it and have a great time. So I'm excited for that. The third thing I have on my list is if you guys are watching the YouTube video and you're like, wow, what a cute hoodie. Where did she get that from? This is the Alphalete Elements Zip Up hoodie. And I'm so glad they finally made a full-on zip up hoodie, zip up all the way down. Because sometimes I don't feel like pulling things over my head and ruining my hair. You guys know what I'm talking about. So definitely check that out. They had a really big launch just recently. So check it out. Maybe they have some left in your size. And I also want to mention they are having a huge launch in April, which is going to be my favorite launch because they are relaunching Amplify in colors that are just like magical. So I just wanted to mention that Amplify is the #1 pair of legging that you need. It's the only pair of legging that you need, actually. The second that you put it on your body, you'll be like, now I understand why everybody's butts look so good. The leggings literally kind of do it for you, honestly. So definitely check that out in April. I always have just my code for you guys, which is my full name, Emily Hayden. The last thing I wanted to mention is that the Evolve with Emily podcast finally reached 100,000 downloads in a month. So we're now at the 100,000 download mark per month. That's really only happening because you guys are doing your part in sharing the show and sharing the podcast. And it's such a huge milestone. You guys know we recently hit 1 million total show downloads, which is amazing. But the monthly show downloads have grown exponentially. You guys, last year, I believe it was in April or so, I decided to really just put all of my effort into this show and to go just crazy with it, right? Like I put all my effort into it. I've been working so hard. I've been working to get you guys incredible interviews with great guests. And, you know, I started the Monday messages around this time last year, probably like a few months later. But around April, I remember, guys, we were at 25,000 downloads in a month. And I was like, I know that this show has something, and I know that if I put all of my effort into it, that I can help this grow. And when the show grows, the message is getting out there. And when the message is getting out there, it's creating real change in people's lives, and it's really helping them. I know that because I get those messages from you guys literally all the time. And it's something that drives me. It's something that drives the work, the money, the time, and the effort that I put into the show. So to see that pay off, at first it was like 25,000 downloads. And then I remember put a bunch of effort in and we got to like, I don't know, maybe like 27,000 downloads the next month. And I was like, okay, I can do this, right? And then the next one, it was like 32,000 downloads a month. And I was like, yes, let's go. And we had months and months and months where it was consistent increase. And then I remember the first month where I had set a bigger goal and we didn't reach the goal. And I was kind of like, dang it. But I had to look back and realize all the progress that we had already made and that we were on an upward trajectory. So again, I put so much effort into it. So to reach this 100,000 download month, mark, it's such a big milestone for the show. And it again, just kind of shows me that like what we're doing here matters and it's really making a change in people's lives. Cause I feel that if it makes a change in your life, that's when you guys are inclined to share and that's when the show grows. So I would just ask you guys that if you have a favorite episode, maybe it's not this one, maybe it's a different one, but if you have a favorite episode or maybe just an episode that was really impactful for you, would you consider sharing it this month? Just consider sharing it on your stories, maybe text it to one friend. Just share it with one person. I would really appreciate that. It'll help the podcast grow. And again, you get to be a part of, spreading the message and helping to create change in people's lives. So thank you guys so much. I'm so excited to see where this podcast grows. As it grows, everything else will as well. As you guys have seen, if you're watching the YouTube video right now, I had a little podcast makeover. So I got some really beautiful sound treatment for the walls, which is a lot, just so much more expensive than you would think. They just look like these simple panels, which you guys don't see in this one because it's a solo episode. But wow, it's a lot, right? So, but my point for saying that is that I love this show. I love being able to create great content for you guys, but I love being able to expand upon what we already have. And currently with where the show has been, I purposely have not accepted sponsorships for this show because I really wanted to create as much value as I possibly could before I thought about entertaining potential sponsorships. If you guys don't know, having a podcast truly is a business, and I have self-funded 100% of what I've done so far, and I'm really proud of that. But I am really excited that now that I have some of these metrics here, I will be able to gain some funding and some sponsorships through companies and people that I really, really heavily align with and believe in, who will want to be a part of this mission with us, and they will enable me to go far beyond what I could do by myself. So I'm really excited for that step to come, and I kind of wanted to put it on y'all's radar that step is going to be coming, and I'm so excited for that. But I did go ahead and upgrade my studio, just myself, of course. I have this beautiful sign here, which I love. I think it looks so pretty, and I'm in the process of just kind of decorating and making this room. I want to make it a vibe, and that way when I have in-person guests, we can have this like good energy, good vibe in here, and just kind of see where it goes from there. So thank you guys for being a part of the journey and along this far. All right, let's get into today's show. Today's show is going to be pretty quick and to the point. I wanted to talk about one main way to be proactive with your health. And I do have notes here if you guys are watching. Normally I don't have notes, but this one I really wanted to make it information heavy so that you, the listener, got as much jam-packed value as possible in the shortest amount of time. I know when I listen to podcasts like this, I really like to get those takeaways like right away and have a lot that I, the listener, can then go and act on. So today we're going to be talking about one main way to be proactive with your health, and it is to get your blood work done. I was told this so many times before I actually did it. And then when I did do it, I went through my regular doctor thinking that simply asking to request blood work would do it. I thought if I asked for blood work and that they did the blood work, that's all that I needed, and that I could trust their response to me. I was really not informed when it came to blood work and when it came to going through your regular physician. I thought that if they did the blood work and told me that everything was fine, that it meant that everything was fine. It's pretty logical thinking, right? But here's the thing. Doctors usually only look for you to be in normal ranges. But you have to ask yourself, okay, what is considered a normal range to a doctor? The normal range for a doctor is the average between very unhealthy people and healthy people. So that is not a good thing, and it's not helpful for most people, especially for athletes. You don't want to be comparing yourself to very, very unhealthy people and the most healthy, right? That's not a correct average. It's not going to give you optimal health. It's going to tell you a range, but normal is not optimal, and in my mind, that's not even healthy. So my mistake when I was first presented with people telling me to get my blood work done was that, number one, I waited way too long to get my blood work done. Number two, I did not get a comprehensive panel done. And number three, I went through my doctor and trusted that what they told me was a clear reflection of my actual health. So those were my mistakes. Clearly, number one, I would say everybody, literally everybody, needs to be getting their blood work done. The goal and the hope is that you go and you get your blood work done and you receive results telling you that you're in optimal health. In that case, I would suggest make sure to get it done at least yearly on a regular basis. So every year, just kind of keep track of things, because as you age, things do change. So if you're healthy right now, that's amazing. Like, be so glad that you got your blood work done and you got those results. Make sure to stay on top of it yearly, and year by year, even if things drop just a little bit, you'll be able to compare it to previous years. I'm so jealous. My dad has like years and years, like decades worth of blood work, and just being like this analytical nerd, and especially about health, I'm jealous. I'm like, I wish I had that many comprehensive blood work panels to see the trends and trajectory of my health. Anyways, I just think it's so good because you are so informed and you're able to really track things, you know, especially when it comes to hereditary things or things that you're maybe more prone to than others. You can really track, okay, when did things start to change with my blood work? Like when I first did it, I was good, I was healthy. Why am I in this position now? And you can look back at all the different numbers and the data that's given to you and really have a better understanding of what's going on in your health. So truly, literally everybody, men, women, every age, should be getting their blood work done. Now, if you're an athlete, if you were above the regular average person, and I don't mean above as in like you're better than anyone. I mean like physically, right? If you are pushing yourself to the extreme, if you're a triathlete, if you're a bodybuilder, if you are just have a very active lifestyle, or maybe you're an extreme athlete of some sort, this should be done yesterday. I'm telling you, do not wait. You may be working against your body and not even know it. Guys, especially for athletes, like people are sitting here trying to reach their performance goals, right? They're CrossFit athletes, or they're trying to reach their physique goals. They're bodybuilding athletes, and they're not able to reach their goals, and they don't really understand what's happening. They keep trying to push and go and not realizing that their inside internal health is working against what they're doing on the outside. And if you simply had information, you would realize that, and you'd be able to take action to help your body work together from the inside out. Now, I actually want to share one of my friends' stories because I share this with people all the time. Every time that I talk to someone and I hear what they're going through and how they're feeling, and you know, they're great athletes, and all of a sudden now like they are exhausted and they're experiencing a ton of symptoms, which I'll get into later. It's pretty clear to me. I'm like, okay, cool. When's the last time you got your blood work done? And they're like, haven't really done that. And I'm like, dude, literally first step. We don't even need to talk any further. Like, go get your blood work done and then let's chat, right? So I want to share one of my friends, Kevin from First Form. If you guys follow First Form, you definitely know him. He's a sponsored athlete. So he shared this Instagram post based on a conversation that we had, and I want to share his post. So make sure to follow him if you guys aren't already. He is awesome. He's really heavily into the CrossFit world, and he's a coach, he's a trainer, he's all of the above. So he also has really good informative posts, so you guys would enjoy following him anyways. But he said, I was tired and pretending to not be tired all the time. I had foggy brain. There were moments where I felt good, but it wasn't often. 2021 was a tough transition. Moving from a young, hip, cool neighborhood to a new neighborhood where the average age of my immediate neighbors older than my mom was a blow to my ego. Going from training with my friends every day to training alone in a 9 by 15 foot garage was a challenge. It didn't help that I was on the adventure of entrepreneurship and working to build a brand and community about uplifting others when most nights I myself needed to be uplifted. But I managed and I got by. Getting by was never the plan. Getting by was like treading water. I'd stay afloat, but be still and not moving forward. The hardest part for me to digest why this was happening was the thought of, I'm doing everything right. My food, my training, my sleep is pretty good. I rarely drink. What gives? I must just be getting old, right? Wrong. I was casually speaking to my friend Emily while warming up for a workout at First Form HQ one day and explained how exhausted I was for a person who I say has pretty high exhaustion tolerance. She asked if I had ever gotten my blood work done. I hadn't. She suggested to me that I see what's going on underneath the hood so I can have a better idea of what steps to take to start the healing process. It got me thinking, worried, and uncertain about so many things. I was making a big deal out of something before it actually happened. So I decided to get some blood work in November of 2021. Enough was enough. And when the results came back, I guess you can say I saw exactly what I expected to see. Low testosterone. The last thing a man wants to see. So I had to make a decision. The team at Transcend made it easy to understand my blood work and what we could do to help my energy, focus, training, and recovery. I was pleased to listen, skeptical to decide. My head was in denial, but the lab work showed the facts. I needed help. For the last 2 months, I've been working with Transcend and with my doctor to follow a prescription-based protocol on how to help me be the best me from the inside out. My focus is up, my training is better, my body fat is down, my recovery is on point, mwah, chef's kiss. My business is succeeding, my clients are happy, and I am excited to wake up and start the day every day. I am completely confident in my decision to help me live the best life possible. My suggestion to you is to find out what's going on with you. I'm still new to HRT therapy, but I'm looking forward to sharing my journey with you so you can hopefully find out more for yourself one day. Feel free to message me with any questions. And Kevin is great. So seriously, if you have any questions, feel free to DM him. He would love to help. Hopefully this podcast doesn't go like viral or anything. He might get blown up. But I had to share that because one, I've shared all about my personal hormone journey. And if you guys are interested in that, I will link some of the YouTube videos and also podcasts below that talks about my individual journey. But for this podcast, I really didn't want to go into my specifics. I wanted to share things that would help you on your journey. And I think that his perspective as the man's perspective is really important as well. And I think it's something that, kind of speaks to everyone, right? So if you're a woman that's listening to this, you can relate to me and a lot of the things and symptoms that I'll share with you. If you're a woman with a man and he's experiencing these things, maybe he's not listening to this podcast. Maybe he's not getting this information. Maybe you can send this podcast to him to help him kind of open his perspective to understand that his symptoms and what he's experiencing, he doesn't have to suffer through, and it's not normal. I had a friend actually at jiu-jitsu come to class the other day, and man, he was just like dragging and like tired. And he's like, yeah, I'm not sleeping. And he's mentioning all these things. And I had the same exact conversation with him. I was like, hey, when have you gotten your blood work done? You really need to check that out because it's, I guess it's like, once you go through it yourself, it's literally clear as day. Like you see people going through it and you're like, dude, that's literally most likely hormonal. Just go get it checked out and see what it says. Because at least then you can have information and be empowered in knowing what to do next. And you can start looking down and navigating through different paths for yourself. So I just really, really recommend that everybody gets their blood work done. Now, let's dive into what does a comprehensive blood work panel look like? Because that's the issue when you go to a general practitioner, your family doctor, most of the time they're not giving you a comprehensive blood work panel. So a full health and hormone panel includes things like heart health, inflammation markers, complete blood panel, cholesterol, as well as getting a deeper understanding of your current hormone levels. Without knowing what your hormone and health insights are, you're actually operating in the dark. And not only could you be drastically reducing the impact of your efforts, but you could actually be making it worse, which is why I really want to urge you guys about being smart and achieving your health and fitness goals and simply get your blood work done. So you might ask where you can do this if the general practitioners usually aren't giving you what you want. Well, if you're in the United States, I have the easiest and most cost-effective solution for you. It's the company that I go through for all of my blood work, which is Transcend. You guys have heard me talk about them multiple times. And I do have a Transcend highlight on my Instagram story. Again, just sharing my journey with it. And it's been really incredible to see. It's cool because you can look back at the beginning of when I started and towards the end, you can literally see me like come back to life. I was in a really hard and really dark spot. If you really want to see that, check out the YouTube video where I sit there and you guys can see a total difference in how I was and how I was showing up to where I'm at now. So go check that out. Transcend, if you haven't heard of them, is a telehealth company, which just means that everything's done online and via Zoom, which also means there's no doctor's visits, no waiting a month for an appointment, no sitting in a waiting room, no tug of war with your, doctor trying to ask them to test for everything that you want to test and them not wanting to test for it, which if you guys didn't know, they usually don't do the comprehensive panel because they have to get insurance to approve it. So they can really only get approved for small certain things. So it's really not about helping you get optimal health, which really sucks. You would think that that's how it was designed. And I could go on a whole rant about all the systems of the world and how the law system, the health system, the education system, they all need to evolve because they're not actually there to help you. But that's a different podcast. Anyways, they refuse you so many times. The doctors refuse what it is that you're asking for so many times. And I think that is so backwards. But with Transcend, they have licensed physicians in all 50 states. They actually have the absolute lowest cost in the HRT and peptide industry. They are FDA approved and they're veteran owned and operated. So truly, guys, it's the best solution to gain control over your health from the inside out. And it's incredibly simple, guys. This is how it works. You click the link below and fill out an intake form online. From there, Transcend will order a comprehensive blood work panel for you, and you simply go into either a LabCorp or a Quest Diagnostic Center near you. They're literally everywhere. So you get your blood drawn and then you'll get your results back and finally be empowered with what's actually happening internally with your health and hormones. And your Transcend specialist will help you to understand what's going on with your hormones, where the gaps are, and what you guys could do to start to optimize your health and also optimize your goals. So if your results show that your health is not in optimal levels, Transcend can create a customized approach for you depending on your results, your goals, and also your budget. If you do decide to move forward with a treatment plan, everything is shipped directly to your doorstep. So again, no waiting in lines, no driving to the pharmacy, and it just makes it so simple, so convenient. And what's also great is because everything is FDA and approved and prescribed specifically for you by a doctor, everything has your name on it. It's a prescription, so it's easy to travel and to fly with if you're somebody that travels often. Now, if you feel healthy and feel great, awesome. Go get your blood work done now and let's keep it that way. But if you're listening and you feel like something is off, you feel like you're not feeling yourself recently, you're way more exhausted than normal, and you're experiencing any of the symptoms I'm about to share with you guys, the first step is to simply get your blood work done so you can understand what's happening inside of your body. Now, just because you get your blood work done with Transcend doesn't mean that you're going to pursue HRT or TRT. The truth is not everyone needs it. And there's absolutely no pressure to move forward with any sort of route. We are not like doctors in the sense that we want to actually help you reach optimal health. And this is my biggest issue with institutions and the government and the health industry is that it's not about actual health. It's not actually about helping you, the individual, reach optimal health. It's always about money. It's about the insurance, it's about what, they can prescribe to you. It's just the opposite of what you would think. And with Transcend, you're actually getting people who care about you as an individual. We are a company of relationships, right? These people have now become like some of my most awesome friends and relationships. And I literally love these people. It's not a system that treats you like a number. It's not a system that just like puts you in the waiting line and tries to rush you in, rush you out. It's not a system that doesn't listen to you. They will answer every single question that you have. My doctor, actually, we did a Zoom just recently because I did an updated blood work panel. And I even got to meet her cat, and we were not rushed. She took as much time as we needed. She answered every question that I had. And now I'm like, I kind of dig my doctor. Like, I think she's really cool, you know, like I'm building this relationship with her that I've never really had in, you know, general practitioners' offices. So it's just very different, guys. And this is simply, you know, one solution of many solutions. But the thing with getting your blood work done is that it's the first step, and that it gives you the information you need to start looking at treatment plans for yourself. So let's get into some of these symptoms that you could be experiencing. Low energy, in some cases, extreme exhaustion, depression, anxiety, low motivation, inability to lose fat. This is when people are on their diet and they're consistent with their training, they're incorporating some cardio, and they're like, why is my body not changing? I've always been able to tighten up for that, you know, for that trip or for my birthday or for whatever it is. Like, you've always been able to, you know, clean everything up and get nice results from that. And now you're not getting those results that you used to get. Sleep issues or insomnia. This one is really prevalent. I see this a lot. Low libido, skin issues, inability to focus, inflammation. Inflammation is something I really struggled with. And that is honestly miserable when you have extreme inflammation. And again, you could have an array of these, you know, any one of these different symptoms or a mixture of them on different levels, right? So some people, maybe they're just like tired every day, but it's not extreme exhaustion. So they don't think that it's anything to look at. If you are low energy all the time, that's something to look at. It doesn't have to be on the extreme end, right? Same thing with inflammation. It could be just a little bit of inflammation. You think it's probably just a sodium thing. I need to drink more water or incorporate some salt into my diet or a mixture of both. But sometimes you have extreme inflammation as well. Bone and joint pain, muscle weakness, aches, cramps, extreme PMS symptoms for women. Extreme PMS symptoms are not normal. That's not actually how our body's supposed to function. I feel like just because we've experienced it for so long, we think that it's normal and that it's okay to literally be like curled up in a ball, almost crying from so much pain. It's actually a pretty good sign that there's something underlying that's going on there that you can fix. You don't have to live life like that every single month. It's miserable. Like, I've been there, and you don't have to live life like that. And then erectile dysfunction for men, among many other symptoms. So these are just some of the symptoms that you guys could be experiencing at different levels. And again, I've linked the YouTube videos and podcasts I've done on my journey if you want to hear the symptoms I was experiencing. I was actually experiencing so many of these, almost every one of these. And it was really kind of the extreme route. And I tried to explain to people, please do not wait until it gets that extreme. Please don't even wait until you have the symptoms. Like, just make it a part of your normal, you know, routine and thing that you do for your health on a yearly basis. So I do have to say that when I first started in the beginning, I decided to go through Transcend and to just have that first call with them to ask them all my questions. I was not committed to going through with an HRT program. I just wanted to talk to them and be more informed with my decision. And I was really happy to hear that that is their main goal, is to help explain things to you, show you where the gaps are, and to help you make the best informed decision for you. It was just really great to have that kind of energy on it. Whereas, you know, I've been on other calls and such where it wasn't the same. So it was really good to have someone who felt like they were on my team. They were listening to me. They were receptive to what I felt was best for me. Now, when I first started, I decided that I wanted to, you know, I got my blood work back and I wanted to go for the natural route, meaning I didn't want to go into HRT at first. And so I did. I, for months, tried to do things the natural way. And it honestly it didn't work for me. And I got to a breaking point where I was like, I literally cannot live my life like this with all of these extreme symptoms. I cannot function like this any longer. So at that point, I felt it was the best decision for me to move forward with HRT. And, you know, I shared a 4-week update video, which you guys will see. It's linked below. That in 4 weeks, guys, I mean, I noticed feeling better before then, but at 4 weeks, I was night and day difference. And it's now been months later. And I look back and I'm like, thank God that I did that. I'm so glad that I did that. I recently had a friend reach out and say that they have been going the natural route, trying to do it just through food as medicine, and that they felt really convicted to that method. And I think if you feel convicted to a certain method, you should absolutely go down that method and that route, no matter what it is. But she did share that she's been doing that for over a year now. She has gained over 40 plus pounds. She's at the end of her rope and she's decided to move forward with HRT. And I think sometimes we have to go through this natural progression of doing what we feel is the best decision for us individually in the moment. And then when it comes time to make a different decision, to do that. Like that, I think that that's how it should be. So I'm really proud of her for, going down that route for herself because she felt really convicted in that. And now I'm also very proud of her for deciding to choose a different route when it simply didn't work out for her. So I really can't wait to hear those updates. But you guys, I have sent so many people to Transcend, family members of mine, personal friends of mine, and it's been really incredible and amazing to hear that you guys are feeling so much better and getting your lives back. Like something as simple as being able to get out of bed in the morning and be excited to live life and have energy to live life and be able to have energy throughout the whole day. It seems simple when you say it out loud, but when you're living your life, not having energy to live, not having energy to function throughout the day, not having energy to give to your significant other, to your family, to your friends, to your business, to your children, like it's a miserable existence and you don't have to live life like that. So whichever route you decide to go, I just really encourage you to make sure that you're informed on all different angles, right? Make sure that going into this that you have options. You don't have to live life this way. And whatever you feel is right for you is the decision that you need to make. So tune into yourself and make that best decision for you. Don't let anyone else sway that decision. The only thing that I will tell everybody that they should do is get the blood work done so you have the information and you know what to do. So a few friends have messaged me similar questions, so I figured I would just address them here before we close out the show. The first one is some friends that have just messaged me saying, hey, I'm not sure I want to do HRT, so I don't want to waste anyone's time. What's the best way to go about this? You're not wasting anyone's time. When I tell you that they care about your individual health journey, I promise you they actually care. So if you fill out the intake form and you get on the call with them, you guys get your blood work done and you decide you're not moving forward, they are going to be so glad that they gave you answers that you didn't previously had. And they will always be there for you. You can always call them back. You're always welcome back. I feel bad that people have had different experiences within the HRT, TRT, industry, as well as just the general practitioner industry and method as well. Because I think a lot of people are like scarred. Like people are messaging me with these like trauma-based responses towards, doctors and methods like this. And I'm like, guys, they're just different. That's just all I'm going to tell you is Transcend is different. The second one is, does Transcend accept insurance? Very commonly asked question. And unfortunately, insurance does not recognize this way of medicine and this modality, which is really unfortunate because, again, if they actually cared about optimizing people's health, then they would see it that way. So it is a cost outside of insurance. But again, Transcend does have the most affordable cost in the industry. I've shared this before, but I'll share it again. When I got the price sheet for my individual prescriptions that I was recommended when I started, I sent it to my dad and my dad was like, double check that this is the appropriate pricing and that you're not getting some sort of like discount or something like that. Like check that that's the price. So I did. I messaged him. I was like, hey, is this the regular price that you guys give to everyone? And they were like, yeah. And my dad was like, yes, that's a yes. You need to go with that company because that's amazing that they're not trying to charge as much as humanly possible. And that's the thing is I feel like before, this hasn't been very accessible to many people. And so I think that also shows the heartbeat behind the company that they've really strived to make this accessible to as many people as possible. At the end of the day, it's an extra cost, right? Insurance is not covering it. So you still have to pay for this. It's not something that's free, but they are making it as accessible as possible, which I'm just really thankful for so that I could move forward with it, and so that my friends and family members and you guys could move forward with it as well if you find that this is a route that you guys want to take. So if you guys are ready to be proactive about your health, let this be the day that you make this decision for yourself. You can just click the link in the show notes below, and it's also in the description box, and fill out your intake form today and DM me. Let me know that you've done that. Let me know and keep me updated on your progress if you would like to. I really love hearing y'all's stories, and I think it's just really awesome to see people to be their own best health advocate. That's something that I didn't really know how to do prior to going through a lot of my own hormone imbalances and issues, I kind of just like looked to the doctors for answers and kind of expected that they would have them. And now after going through all the experiences I've gone through, I really realized that like you have to be your own best health advocate and you have to do your own research. It's really important to talk to, multiple different sources, ask as many questions as possible. And at the end of the day, trust yourself. You know yourself and you know your body better than anyone else. I think about even when the doctors told me, they looked at my blood work and I kind of like almost expected them to tell me that there was something off, even just a little bit. And they were like, no, you're fine. And I remember just like with this blank stare going back into my car and being like, oh my gosh, so it is me. Like I'm just being a little bitch, because I felt so weak and so tired and so exhausted and training hurt so bad, right? And I just had this like staring look on my face like it's me, like I suck, right? Like I took it as if it was me, and now I'm much more informed than that, and I understand that I didn't have a comprehensive panel and they were wrong in the first place. But my point for saying that is sometimes you have to go through those experiences to understand how to advocate for yourself. So I hope that today's podcast was helpful for you guys. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and share it with a friend. Maybe you know somebody who's been experiencing these symptoms, send it to them. Maybe you know somebody that has been putting off getting their blood work done, send it to them. Let's spread the health, spread the wealth, and keep our health as main priority, guys. Because if you have your health, everything else is so much better. And when you don't have your health, guys, it's a place that I don't wish upon anyone. So take care of your health, take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.